just a little review on quadratic equations. So quadratic equations have an x squared, y equals x squared something, right? So that's part of it. They look like a parabola, okay? If it looks like a parabola that's going up like a smile, then it has a minimum. If the parabola is going down like this, like a frown, then it has a maximum, okay? The minimum right here is the vertex. Okay, so over here I look at the parabola. The vertex in this case, since this is a smile, it's right here, the lowest point, because it's a smile. So it would be 4 and negative 60. That's the vertex. Okay? From the vertex, I can get the line of, or the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is fancy for the line that cuts this parabola exactly in half, which is this. The axis of symmetry always comes from the vertex, the x-coordinate of the vertex. So this line right here is x equals 4, this yellow line, the axis of symmetry. Okay, the minimum value here would be the negative 60. With the min value, it helps us with the range. The range will start with y, and because this is a smile, it's going to be greater than or equal to that minimum value, which is negative 60. What that tells you is that this parabola, all the y values of this parabola are going to be either negative 60 or more, because the parabola is going upwards. If I see arrowheads at the end, that means this parabola keeps opening up forever and ever and ever. So my domain will be all real numbers. Every time there are arrowheads at the end, it will be all real numbers. The other thing here are the solutions. So every time you have a quadratic equation, whether it be in a graph or just an equation written, whenever they're asking you for solutions, the solutions is the same thing as the x-intercept, or steps, because it can be more than one, or also the zeros or roots. Okay? Whenever a parabola only touches one at one point, that's only one solution. A parabola can touch twice, so it's going to be two solutions. Or a parabola might not even touch the x-axis at all. This is no solution. No solution, one solution, two solutions. Okay, so those are the three scenarios that can happen. In this case, this one touches twice. So it touches here, and it touches there. Okay, so then my zeros would be negative 6 and 9. Or sorry, 14. Small numbers. So negative 6 and 14. So I can answer solutions are negative 6 and 14, or I can answer the solutions like this in a coordinate point manner. Okay? Sometimes you don't have the drawing. Sometimes you have an equation. Okay? Here they're asking me every time I see the word solutions and a square in an equation, that means that I'm looking for the zeros. Okay? So here I could graph them, but I first have to equal it to 0. So I'm going to get a calculator. Sorry about the wait. I'm going to get a calculator. Okay, to graph it again, it has to equal to 0. So I have to move the 75 over. This part is what I would graph in the calculator. So I'm going to type it in. And instead of m, I'm going to use x, because that's what the calculator requires. Oh, sorry. I don't know what I did there. Okay, and then minus 75. All right. So here it is. I'm When I press enter, I'm going to see the parabola, and then I see that it crosses there and there. So if you go to menu and then analyze and number 1, 0, you're going to do it for each of them. This is 1, and then do it again for the other one. So it will be -9 and 1. Or you could also write it like this. And those would be the answers. So that's a little short review on quadratic equations. And we're going to do one more that looks simpler. So right here, again, it has to equal 0. And this is what you would graph to get the roots. Okay, so if it looks different. Alright, so that's a little mini review on quadratic equations.